Hey everyone, Andre here, coming at you live from the Pikmin homeworld, obviously. I shrunk to their size, as you can see. And we're here to discuss Pikmin Bloom, along with Joey and Tom, which is Nintendo's brand new mobile game, just announced today from Niantic. So in the vein of Pokemon Go, this is a game based primarily around walking, going around town, and having Pikmin come along for the ride. So it's a little confusing on how exactly it works, because the trailers didn't talk a whole lot about that aspect. But from what I can gather based on the website and what we've seen, the idea is basically you'll find Pikmin as you go for a walk and you can grow them. Then they themselves will grow like little flowers on their head, and then you can plant those flowers and they'll just create like a lovely trail behind you. I'm sure I got some details wrong, but that seems to be the gist of it. There's a lot of walking, a lot of growing flowers, and apparently there's even like a fog of war type thing where the world is like covered in clouds if you haven't walked there yet. Which is all very interesting. So yeah, let's just talk about what we think of this so far based on the trailer and the website information. So,
will there be Pikmin actually following me in the real world? The website has not told me this yet. Like, they can help me carry stuff, right? So you would think that they would actually help me carry stuff in the real world. Okay, joking aside, this does look like a really cool idea. There's not much of a game as Pokemon Go was, but it's definitely... Yeah, but it's definitely living up to Niantic's sort of mantra of getting people outside more, because a lot of people went outside to play Pokemon Go, but it looks like their goal is to not just get people outside and play, but mostly just get people outside and like find stuff, discover things more than anything. Like, go here and you'll find more Pikmin. Hey, you've never been to this part of your neighborhood? You might find a new Pikmin there. Who knows? So that's sort of exciting, and I like taking walks every day, so maybe this will be a little exciting thing to get me to explore my neighborhood a bit more.
Yeah, it's a great way to encourage people how to walk. I mean, not everybody has a dog, and
yeah,
with it too, like you're talking about different neighborhoods, you can only get certain Decor Pikmin depending on the location. So that also, along with the fog of Pikmin War, will encourage you to go to different areas and not just keeping the same route. And they'll have monthly community events and stuff too, apparently. So it's going to be a nice way to encourage people to get outside.
And I like too how it even has like a little log of where you've been. You can apparently add pictures you've taken along the way to show things you did, I guess, while out on your walks. So it's a cute little idea. I mean, I do really like the concept of making something more health focused, I think, even more than Pokemon Go. That seemed to be more of a byproduct of Pokemon Go, where this one seems, I mean, that is the case here too, but they're disguising it well under the guise of Pikmin. That does encourage you to go out for walks and actually like kind of better explore your surroundings. And that's something I've been doing more myself recently, along with you, Joey, is going out on these walks, and God knows I need it after the last, year and a half of the pandemic. So if something can encourage me to do more of that and make that even more fun, that's an interesting idea, I think. And I really do love like how they presented this. I thought the reveal trailer was like really cute, like seeing these Pikmin out in the real world and like the flowers like growing on the real life structures you pass by. And then of course when they show you the actual gameplay, it doesn't look nearly as cool. It's like a completely flat world, largely featureless. And I'm like, oh man, I wish they could like pair the two a little bit better, where maybe you could have like 3D structures in the world, like how Google Maps does. You can actually see those being covered in flowers, but whatever.
The Mii's are back again.
Mii's are back? Heck yeah. But yeah, I think it's a novel idea. I'm not sure though if it's going to tap into the same. In fact, I'm confident it won't tap into the same level of zeitgeist that Pokemon Go did, because I'm sure there's more to it than what we've seen, and we'll be finding out more once it launches. Again, imminently, at least in some countries. But it doesn't seem like it has a social element. Like Pokemon Go was all about like collecting things, and showing them off, and then eventually battling and trading with your friends. And that doesn't seem to be a big focus here. I mean, it never was in Pikmin itself, and I feel like that's probably gonna introduce like a ceiling on this game that's considerably lower than Pokemon Go.
Yeah, Pokemon Go was lightning in a bottle. It was really like just, we've never had something like this before. And even an article by an article by The Verge even said like Niantic has had trouble catching that lightning in the bottle again, because they did a Harry Potter game that was very similar to Pokemon Go, didn't take off as well. They had another game that didn't take off as well. Pikmin I have more hope for, because it's another Nintendo collaboration. Obviously, it's not going to be as big as Pokemon because Pikmin's not as popular as Pokemon, even though they share many of the same letters in the name. But still, I'm a little bit more excited for this one, just because it does tap into the whole cutesy element that was of Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go was not super cutesy, but it was colorful, and Pikmin also looks very colorful and family friendly.
Yeah. I know after Pokemon Go when it came out, I'd be biking along and I'd have to stop for like crowds of like 50 people crossing the road to rush to get somewhere. Fortunately, not a busy road, but with Pikmin though, they do have a community kind of garden element where they're mentioning the more people that have flowers, the more you'll see them there. But I wonder if you're working together to build things up, if there's as much incentive as to when you're going to like, I'm going to destroy that guy's flower and put in my bigger flower. Like,
I actually kind of love that idea because like what they're doing here sounds a little bit like an idea I had for a Splatoon mobile game, where it would be like a real life turf war where you would go walking and you basically have a virtual roller and you're painting the environment as you go, like, you know, creating a string of paint or ink behind you. And that seems to be kind of like what the flowers are doing here, only, you know, without the competitive element, as far as I'm aware. It seems to be, as far as I can tell, like a largely isolated experience where, you know, they're your own flowers. Like, you're not trying to take over someone else's garden, at least in that aspect, though I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah, or do something like that Pikmin 3 game where it was like bingo or something.
Yeah, bingo battle.
Bingo battle, yeah. That's I feel like this game does lend itself more to, you know, updating as it goes along, as most games do. Pokemon Go did that extensively, but here they could add a bit of more competitive feature. Probably, I don't know if they would, because so far the name of the game is basically go outside, walk more, and it is kind of like an isolating. Not really isolating because you're going outside, but it is very self-involved more than anything.
Yeah.
So, but it is possible. But it is always like a possibility. Maybe if the community feedback calls for, you know, Pikmin death battles, it could happen. But who knows?
I hope so.
We did see that guy meeting that girl in the trailer. I mean, they could have been about to have a death battle. I don't know.
Or they could have. Man, I just wish they committed to the bit and like they got married or something. That would have been
with
hilarious.
With Pikmin like holding the shawl over.
They got Pikmin on top of their cake, their wedding cake, because oh my gosh,
it's an interesting use of a Pikmin, of a property Nintendo has often neglected. We still don't know where the hell Pikmin 4 is. So we'll see if this is actually going to lead perhaps to more for the franchise. I do think that if they're going this in on Pikmin in terms of a mobile app, that there's probably a better future for the series beyond what we've seen. And I do hope that this means Pikmin 4 will eventually come, you know, down the pike. But that's, you know, neither here nor there. But I do want to try this. Like, I see myself trying, you know, download this app and actually using it. And because I fell off Pokemon Go pretty quickly, I'm just not that into like catching things, like catching all of it. I don't really care, you know.
Right.
And it was also a battery drain too, and you had to look at your phone a lot. So I think if this strikes a better balance of how much I have to look at my phone during a walk, and maybe be a little bit more passive while still engaging when you do choose to, you know, check it out on the screen. It could be fun. So that's the thing. I just don't know if it's fun or not. You know, like, is it really just rewarding me for walking? And maybe that's enough. But is that really enough in itself to play the game? I don't know.
I just love that you can take photos and it'll like put them in a little scrapbook for you. That's amazing. I don't care what you say. That is great.
It almost seems like it's gamifying a feature Android already, or like Google already has, where you can just see your movement like over time based on your cell phone. Like, this almost seems like they're taking that idea and just making it a game, and that's cooler and less creepy.
Yeah, it is. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm about to get a Pixel 6 Pro, same as you, Andre. So, and I don't use Instagram that much, so I'm like, well, what am I going to take photos of? Like, what am I going to use them for? There you go. It's Pikmin.
Exactly. By the way, I don't know if anyone's noticed, like, my camera, if we're using the camera feed, my camera's having trouble focusing on me because I'm so small. It's very difficult for the camera to focus on an object.
You gotta get a macro lens, Andre.
Yeah, that's screwed up.
They also mentioned you can send out Pikmin on expeditions and stuff. I don't know if that means if you're out and about, if you send them out, or if that's a way if you're kind of...
And will they die on the way back?
Yeah.
Who knows?
If you're not protecting them, or if it's one of those features where if you're at home, if you can still play the game a little bit, I wonder.
Just as much as life is a thing in Pikmin, so is death. There is a lot of death in the Pikmin games. Little Pikmin ghosts going everywhere, and it's actually a pretty dark, morbid experience at times, depending on, especially depending on how good of a player you are, or how bad of a player you are. Do you think they'll factor in here, or are you just on the up and up here? You're just constantly growing your Pikmin army that follows you around, or...
I think it's up and up, like straight up. Straight
I
up.
think so.
Yeah.
It's more positive. until they bring the Pikmin Battle DLC we're talking about.
Exactly. And they add blood and guts in there for some reason. Very weird stuff. Pikmin don't even have organs. What the hell?
So do you think all of you, I mean, if you didn't have to do it for work, do you think you would download this and try it out anyway, or?
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
I would totally try it out. How long ago try it out for? That is the question.
Yeah.
That is it.
Will it have enough of a hook in there to get me using it long term?
Yeah,
Right.
that Pikmin hook.
Any other thoughts about Pikmin Bloom before we wrap it up here, everyone?
Happy 20th anniversary, Pikmin.
Yeah.
That's really cool stuff to see that they are celebrating the 20th anniversary by rolling out Pikmin Bloom slowly but surely across the world. And yeah, I think if this is happening and Pikmin 3 Deluxe happened too, Pikmin has a future, like without question. So yeah, and this seems like a good thing to tide us over until Pikmin 4 or hey Pikmin 2 comes out. So
Pikmin were also featured at Super Nintendo World, so
That's
Nintendo
right.
definitely has confidence in the franchise. So.
Miyamoto loves them. I mean, it's his creation anyway. So, but
He grew them.
clearly
Yep.
loves them. Yep.
Yeah, he even appeared in the reveal trailer and or in the one of the trailers at
Yeah,
least.
there was two. That was confusing. That was like, wait, there's two trailers. What's going on?
It's a trailer and a trailer. It's trailer inception, but
No.
Yeah.
he is working with Niantic to bring this out. So that's interesting. He has a lot of things on his plate with that and the amusement parks and the movie.
Oh my
Maybe
gosh.
even Nintendo games. I don't know.
Pikmin 4, maybe?
Yep.
Please. Star Fox 02.
Yeah. So before we fully wrap it up then, do you think, I know we already did some comparisons to Pokemon Go, but are any of you like big mobile players in general? And what is it about this that appeals to you more than other mobile games, if not?
I'm not much of a mobile game player, but passive experiences like this kind of like get my attention a bit because I don't really have to be on my phone the whole time to experience it, and it kind of gives me another thing to check on my phone whenever I'm sitting down or just reflecting on my day. Yeah, but again, it all depends on how well they implement those features and how well they keep me coming back to that app to see how many steps I took that day or what pictures I took that day.
You know what I want? I want to know how many steps a Pikmin took. Does it got those little tiny little baby steps? I want to know what that.
Gosh. That number would break your phone.
Yeah. Yes, it would.
I don't play many games on my phone, but if it's like a more fun way of doing Strava or a Google Maps type timeline, I think I'd love it.
You know what'd be actually kind of cool is, since it does seem to have a bit of a like fitness focus, is if it would, again in a roundabout way, it'd be neat if it actually had some tie-in into Ring Fit Adventure. A game that's based on working out at home. It'd be cool if it could track your progress through the Pikmin Bloom app, and like if you could import those steps in some way, and maybe even introduce Pikmin into the world, where you can see like little Pikmin running around on the sides as you're running through the environment.
That is an interesting idea. DLC, make it happen, Nintendo.
Exactly.
Also, while they're at it, get Orlando Bloom to promote this app. Like,
Yes, genius.
yes.
Yeah, well, they've had famous actors and actresses promote Nintendo products before. But Andre, even before you said Ring Fit, I'm like thinking you go around with the ring and then you pull it to suck in Pikmin like what's
I love it. And you can like squeeze it to throw Pikmin. Oh
Yeah.
man, I'm all about this. I don't care how stupid it looks in real life. I'm going around that ring and throwing Pikmin everywhere. And the game already had like that ring cursor too, like that circular cursor. It all makes sense. Yeah.
There you go.
All right. I think that's about it, right? Anything else, or are we done here?
We are done here. Pikmin's coming to a country near you whenever. I don't know.
Very
It's coming to
soon.
the US.
Yeah, apparently rolling out in the coming days. So again, starting in Singapore and Australia first. Hopefully, we'll be hitting North America soon, but we'll see. It could be a few days from now. It could be a week. Who knows? But we'll be there to cover it as soon as it does. I'm definitely excited to start growing some Pikmin. I had to make a beautiful flower path behind me everywhere I go. So those Pikmin better not let me down. With that, happy 20th anniversary, Pikmin, and thank you so much for watching, everyone. And we will catch you later for more coverage of Nintendo Switch Online, as well as Pikmin Bloom and everything else Nintendo as well. Catch you later. Bye.